Right, hey guys, this is just a quick introduction to sighting systems for use by a visually impaired archer shooting Olympic style target bow, precision shooting. Right, so now just about all the sighting systems you can get for Olympic style recurve do pretty much the same thing. So there's not a great deal of point in me getting loads of different examples and showing you. They all do the same thing. They all consist of a transverse bar which bolts to the side of your riser, which there we go. That's your riser there. It would bolt to the side of the riser. They come with a sight block, and then they would bolt to the side of the riser like that, extending out the front. You can have them all the way out here if you want, or you can have them close in. I prefer them close in, just basically so I can see it. Putting it further out gives you a longer sight radius, which can make things a little bit more accurate and easy to fine tune. I've got mine set here because otherwise I can't see it. But anyway, so that's where they go on the bow. So you've got the mounting bar. You also then have a vertical bar with a graduated scale on the front, either in centimetres or inches or parts of inches. This allows you to move the whole sighting unit up and down. When you're sighting this in, you fire a couple of shots and you follow the arrow. So if your arrow is hitting low, you move the sighting block, the sighting unit down onto where the arrows are landing. If they're moving right, you move the sight right. If they're hitting left, you move the sight left. Basic principles. It works all exactly the same on all of them. So to follow the arrow down or up, there's usually a locking nut which you can undo, and then you can have a wheel on the side which adjusts and allows you to move up and down as required. Side-to-side movement, or windage, is on some of the better quality ones, more expensive ones, is simply a click adjuster on the side here, where you literally just one click will be an eighth of an inch or something like that at 20 yards or 40 yards or whatever, depending on the type and the quality you get. On this one, you zero it roughly, lock that in place, and then there's a push and a pull type system. You unloosen this side, which will allow the bolt to slide through. There's a spring in there, pushes that through. Once it's in place, you tighten this and lock it in place. If you want to go the other way, you undo this one, which will push the bolt this way, and then once you're where you want to be, you tighten it up, lock it in place. And that's it, basically. So fairly simple. The only other thing is the sight element itself. Now, there's all sorts of things ranging in loads of different sights, sizes, styles, things like that. There's even LED and laser ones. I'm thinking about getting the LED one just to try. I can't see a laser past more than 10 foot, so there's not a great deal of point in me actually using one. But the LED I may be able to use. And basically, the sight element, which is on the end of the bar, now if you have got any kind of vision at all, this is what you want to be aiming at. You might have to adjust or change or remake this element like I have. For instance, the standard element that goes with this was that one. I think you can see that. Now that's it's like a 10 millimeter square with a tiny little central element. I think that one, put glasses on. Yeah, that one has a hole in it, so you can actually put a piece of fibre optic plastic which picks up ambient light and lights up. And the other one, which is a standard one, that's the same, is that one there, which is a solid central post. But they all do the same thing. It's a central post surrounded by a square or round. Now, I've had to manufacture something. I got my son to print off elements, like the hooded piece, and we mounted them onto a new piece of threaded bar. For instance, that's the original. That's if you're a right-handed shooter shooting with your right eye, that is the length of sighting element you get. Now if you look at that compared to the one I've had to make, just so I can actually get a sight picture, I've had to add an extra 2.5 inches to it, because I'm having to use my left eye rather than my right. So that's just an example of what you can do and what you may have to do, because the whole thing about shooting visually impaired is you're allowed to maximise what vision you've got, and I would encourage you to do it. Don't just think you can't use it, what vision you've got, because you can, obviously, and this is what you'll be doing, is you maximise what you can use, and you utilise and manufacture what you need to get the job done. Now if you look at the size of the element I've got on there, in comparison, I think you can see it, well, in comparison to the original is tiny in comparison, but I need something that big in order to be able to align my sight picture. Unfortunately, at 5 yards, that's the same, well not unfortunately, it's quite good actually, that outer circle is almost exactly the same size as the gold circle, the 9 circle appears at 5 yards. So, it works out quite well. Well anyway, there we go. So, that's just a quick introduction to a basic sighting system. Now as we go on and I start using this a little bit more, we'll show how they're adjusted, because the next couple of weeks I'm going to be extending the range that I'm shooting at. I'm currently only shooting at 5, we're going to extend that to 10, then 15, then 20. And as we do that, we'll adjust the sights, and I'll show you how that works as we go. Anyway, hope you find that interesting and useful. There will be more to come on sighting systems. This is just the start. So, stay safe, stay well, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and we shall talk again soon. Cheers guys.